This is actually the power rankings gathered by the rest of the NFL media, and specifically brought us this guy, Pete Prisco at CBS.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of meeting Pete Prisco on one occasion. I had a long dinner with him, lunch with Broadus.
Lunch or dinner?
It was like 2 o'clock.
So okay.
Kind of bold.
How tall was he?
Not. Alec Medford.
Makes sense why Broadus is a fan.
Alec Medford might be taller.
Broadus, boy, Prisco could have played in the NFL.
I heard yesterday on the draft show you were taking shots every 5 minutes, like you had it on a timer.
No, I was sharing Broadus's board. I was talking about how
I don't give a damn where you think
he would play Alec at safety.
Muggsy Bogues.
He loved David Hellman for that very reason.
Sandler.
He only likes a player if he can pick them up and toss them in the air like a baby.
Pete loves his takes, and he is proud of them. But he had a very long article on CBS where he went through his power rankings, and the opening line.
Real quick, do you consider him a troll at all?
Pete?
Yeah. Because he has very different opinions on things.
I don't think I follow him enough to know.
I don't think he's a troll because I think he does believe a lot of the stuff he says.
He believes it.
But there are times where I think he digs in of I'm going to have this take longer than I need to.
His opening line. I am all in on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh-wee!
Yeah, you've heard it before. This is the Cowboys' year, a statement many have said before, only to see the season of hope crumble, leading to more Jerry Jones jokes. You won't be doing that come this December. They will be Super Bowl contenders. Woo! How about them Cowboys?
Thanks, guys.
So he is a troll.
And continue. After their offseason, culminated with an impressive draft haul, they are now my pick to win the NFC East to compete for a whole lot more. Their problems have been their defense. It won't be anymore. They have totally revamped the unit. Starting with the hiring of new defensive coordinator Christian Parker. The 34-year-old, a first-time coordinator, reputation in the league is a good one, especially coming from the Eagles, where he worked with Vic Fangio. The defense will look different.
It will look different.
3-4. But also featuring many new faces. Caleb Downs, Lawrence, Barham. Barham will play inside for the Cowboys. They also traded to get the winners for the Niners. We'll have a lot of new faces at the starting unit this season as well. Good thing, considering how bad it's been. The offense, explosive again.
Like your voice.
Provided receiver George Pickens is around and focused since he's playing on the franchise tag. This is the year that Dak Prescott will finally go from being one of the league's most underrated players to getting the acclaim he deserves as the Cowboys push for the Super Bowl.
Damn.
I'll throw a tiny bit of cold water on all this since I've been heating it up for the past week, 2 weeks.
Got a little simmer going.
Yeah. I love that there's all these new faces because of the horrific defense last year. I am worried that all the excitement I have right now isn't really legitimate until year 2. Because one thing we're not discussing, we got a long time to do it, all these new players in a new scheme, and we think we're just going to plug them into our Madden roster and everything's going to be good to go in terms of chemistry and understanding. Downs, Locke, Thompson, Gary, Winters, Malachi, Durant, Barham. All these guys are either going to start or get a significant amount of time. And I'm probably forgetting some guys. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8. That's 8 new faces in a new scheme. And right now, I'm not going to get into it too much because I want to keep the high going.
And we got off-season content we still got to get through.
That's right. Who knows how long it's going to take?
It would not surprise me if it takes a full year.
Yeah.
We have seen this. Caleb Downs played at Ohio State, obviously. He got there when Jim Knowles was there as the defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Jim Knowles' first year, that defense was not very good. They could not figure it out. It was very, very complicated. Now, that doesn't mean Caleb didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team could not figure it out. And then in year 2, it clicked. And what happened in year 2? They won the national championship. Yeah, and they destroyed everybody on the way.
And the one thing real quick, Bobby, to counter myself is I could argue you have 8 new players and a brand new coordinator and a brand new system, and the odds are you're still not going to be as horrific as last year. That it's still going to be better.
You could spin a wheel and pick players, and you could have done a mix and match and probably had a better defense. Mitch LaPointe, who's the Cowboys director of college scouting, when we talked to him on day 3, we had asked him about the idea of downs, getting prepared for the NFL and walking the scheme, and is it advantageous to play for guys like Matt Patricia's really advanced scheme?
100%. I think that's kind of what put like Alabama and Georgia players ahead in the last 10 years. Like playing for Kirby or Nick. Like, I mean, they put so much on these kids. And if they tell you, hey, this guy's an average learner, you get him at the combine and they're like advanced compared to some other kids. And you're like, wait, he's average. Like, oh my God, this guy's unbelievable. Like, he could draw a ball 11. He knows what's going on. And you're like, oh my God. Like, yeah. So it's really, when you get guys from some of those programs, you know exactly like they've been through it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that I think that if you're talking about, yes, it's new faces, and that's definitely a hesitation, but I would say some of it is Gary's coming in here, and Gary has worked in the Pettin scheme that there's some borrowed from Parker. You're bringing in PJ Locke, who had been with Parker in Denver. So you've got like these philosophy evangelists that you bring in to talk to other players. And I think they've done...
I've never heard the term philosophy evangelist.
I haven't either. I like it, though.
And I think that when you've got when you see... Philly did do this. 2023, they revamped their defense. Because remember, it was like getting destroyed, or 24, the year they won the Super Bowl. 24 was getting destroyed. They revamped that defense and had 2 rookies playing prominent roles in the secondary, and they were nails on defense. And so, not that this team will be, because I don't know that they have that personnel, but it's at least... You can see teams work into it. Dan Quinn's first year here, the Cowboys worked into it by about week 10. They had settled in, and they became one of the better defenses in the second half of the year. That's a possibility, I think.
All right, Chop, let's get to Pete Prisco's power rankings 1 on down.
Number 1,
Cowboys!
the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh.
Let's see. Landing running back Darian Price in the first round will prove to be a big part of their offense. Kenneth Walker will not be missed.
Ooh. Damn.
Now, number 2, Ty Simpson's L.A. Rams.
More on that at 8.
Yeah, so they're drafted little to help them. That was a strange tactic, with Stafford likely playing his last season, but they still have the talent to win it all.
How can you write that sentence, though? That was a strange tactic, with Stafford likely playing his last season. I know his point is not getting a final piece of help,
right?
But that sentence to me more screams we need his replacement.
Right. I mean, just, look,
that was a strange tactic, with Stafford likely playing his last year.
Yeah, like this is, I think the one thing that people a lot of times forget is that, you know, yes, it is. Fans, we're all in the moment. It's about this year. The GM does have to think about fielding a team the following season.
Yeah. Do we have to? Are we judging this differently than what the Packers always do?
Yeah, but I think there's a reason. I think there's a reason to.
Why?
Because when they took Love and when they took Rodgers, they were both considered sliding. Like they took, like they grabbed Simpson at 13, but a lot of people were like, "Is he going to go in the first?" So there were a lot of people. I think the bigger criticism that you have out here, other than related to Sean McVay's reaction, I think the bigger criticism you have here is, why didn't you try to just cultivate other stuff? Or you could bump back to 19 probably and be able to get him there.
What if Arizona or the Jets?
I think they were scared. They were scared of the Jets. I think it's
Arizona probably didn't have the capital to go up. Maybe the Jets could have, but man, I don't know. That to me feels like I think a lot of people just looked at it and were like, you could have massaged that better. But yeah, again, maybe they look at it the same way the Cowboys do, where they're like, we don't think Miami's taking downs, but let's not take the chance.
And we're not going to be here again.
Yeah.
Right. We're not going to be here at 13 again. We have to do it.
And if they evaluate him that way, they evaluate him that way. Yeah. So I don't want to like dump on their evaluation. That's how they saw it. I want them to pick with conviction.
Because it's hard not to trust Sean McVay if he signs off.
But which maybe he did. Maybe he did.
8 o'clock.
Maybe. But I think when I look at Simpson, I just go like, that's not a guy that I feel like, well, I got to grab him now and not risk it.
Number 3, the Buffalo Bills.
With Keon Coleman.
Yeah. They're going to run it back.
How about that conviction? Saying teams called about Keon, not happening.
Yeah.
So awkward.
Number 4, Denver. Saying the trade for Jalen Waddle will be the biggest move for them in terms of making a step forward. Number 5, his Jacksonville Jaguars.
bets.
Why is it his?
That's right. He lives there.
He lives there.
He's been covering them for years.
Way too high.
That's what it qualifies to be a Jaguars insider. He lives there.
Yeah.
Their draft was perplexing, but tight end Nate Burkircher will be a good player. Biggest move this year, getting Travis Hunter back healthy to start at corner. Number 6 is San Fran. Number 7 is Green Bay.
By the way, Bobby, I know everyone's crapping on Jacksonville. The San Fran reach criticism, is that legitimate based upon you in the draft shows boards?
I don't remember. I know that San Francisco got a lot of criticism for it. I don't remember their draft blowing me away of just being like, that's awful. But we were also so focused on Jacksonville. Stribling, a lot of people thought Stribling was going early to mid-second. So I don't think it's that bad. Romello Height was somebody who maybe is a little early, but a lot of people...
You had him as a Cowboy in the third.
I thought he was going in the third to the Cowboys. They took him in the third. And so now Kalen Black from Indiana, yeah, that's a reach. Black was supposed to go, I think, in a lot of people thought he was going to go in the 6th round.
And he went...
3rd round.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was early. But, I mean, I will also give a little bit of deference to the 49ers in general when they evaluate running backs. They've been pretty good at it.
Number 8.
You got 7?
I did. That was Green Bay.
Okay, Green Bay.
The Dallas Cowboys. They have totally revamped their defense, what they had to do. One concern, George Pickens on the franchise tag. Will he pout or use it as motivation?
All right, is there a team in front of Dallas on Prisco's list where you're like, they should be behind him? Or is there a team behind the Cowboys on this where you're like, how are they not in front of them?
No.
I wouldn't object to Green Bay.
Jumping out more.
There's more teams that should be in front of them.
Yeah.
The only one that's close to me is I don't know.
We're on the home of the Dallas Cowboys, Bobby Bell, in case you forgot.
The only one I don't know if it's close is the only one I might I don't know how good Jacksonville's going to be again this year. Maybe they're really good. I don't know. I would put them definitively ahead of Dallas right now, but that would be the closest one that's an argument. I went through and I was trying to pick over it, and I was like, how many teams would I say right now starting today I would put over Dallas? And I have 14. So definitively.
So you have
right there.
You have the Cowboys 15th.
Their peak would be 15. There's probably 2 other teams that are in the conversation right around them. So between 15 and 17.
Do you have the teams?
Yeah.
All right, don't fly through them so fast.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Seahawks, Rams, Broncos, Bills, Ravens, 49ers, Texans, Patriots, Eagles, Bears, Chargers, Lions, Jags, Packers.
Jacksonville is definitively better than the Cowboys.
That's why I said that's the closest one because their defense was great last year, and Lawrence played better down the stretch.
So you don't... Okay, we got Houston, obviously, just because of their defense.
Yeah.
You don't believe in CJ, right?
No.
And then you go and toss up in the East with Philadelphia definitely better? And the drama?
I think right now everything we know we have to say they're definitely better. Now that is definitely one that I think there's some here who are vulnerable. I think very easily we could be looking at the end of the first month of the season and saying Dallas looks better than Detroit, Dallas looks better than Jacksonville, Dallas looks better than Philly, Dallas looks better than Baltimore, Dallas looks better than Chicago. I think all those are possible by the end of the first month. I just think right now, given what we know and what we saw at the end of last season, Dallas has pushed themselves up past teams that would have had them behind, like Tampa and Carolina, but I don't think that they're above those other teams right now.
Pete Prisco's power rankings here on the Expressway. 105 through the Fan. Let's go ahead and wrap them up, and then we'll hook you up with Lee Bryce tickets.
Next up is the Chargers at 9, the Bears at 10, Pats at 11, Chiefs at 12.
Pats at 11. I mean, is that really that's really disrespectful, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple different power rankings. Everybody has the Patriots around 9 to 12.
Everyone? Mm-hmm. They won a lot of close games last year, which they can't count on again. The Vrabel situation does not help either. Who did they get at wideout? They lost Diggs. Did they get Dobbs? They got Romeo Dobbs, didn't they?
Yeah, they made another acquisition. I'm trying to remember what it was.
So they still might be weak in terms of the weapons.
Chiefs at 12, Eagles at 13.
They're getting another receiver here in about a month.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
True.
Eagles at 13.
After we helped them get Lemon.
Ravens at 14.
Ooh.
Houston at 15.
Bobby, I am surprised. You're usually a Baltimore hater.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's a bunch of chokers, but I also think that Baltimore, talent-wise, is more talented than Dallas right now.
Houston 15. Man, if your league is in good shape if the Ravens and the Texans are 14 and 15.
Yeah. Tampa at 16, Cincy at 17, Detroit at 18,
RJ's Lions and his other team following them.
Minnesota at 19, and the Colts at 20. Mike McCarthy's Steelers at 21.
I think Cincy and Dallas are the same team, where they're offensively really strong and defensively you're just like, well, if they can kind of be okay, then they could shoot up this list.
So he went and he had the Cowboys 2 spots ahead of the Bears,
2 spots,
3 ahead of New England, 4 ahead of Kansas City, 5 ahead of Philly, 6 ahead of Baltimore, 7 ahead of Houston, and 10 ahead of Detroit.
Ooh, 10 ahead of Detroit. That feels a little rich. I don't know. Me and you always, I always have more Detroit stock up than I do down. I don't know what it is.
That's why you like Reitman.
And they exploded on the Cowboys.
They did. They're a good team. They have an easy schedule this year, and last year they had a very tough schedule.
It's that offensive line instability people are wondering about.
So Steelers at 21, Panthers, Saints, Falcons, Giants at 25. This is what they said about him. The nice draft will help both units up front, which is important, but the real key is Dart. Washington at 26. Coming off a down year, but Jaden is back healthy. They added some good pieces of free agency. A lot of changes in the offseason, including the coordinators. Jets, Raiders, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Cardinals.
Tannenbaum picked Washington to win the Super Bowl.
This year?
Yeah, at the end of last season.
Washington at 20. How can you pick a team to win the Super Bowl before free agency in the draft?
It was like hey, call your shot a year out kind of thing, and Tannenbaum's picked them.